U.S. Navy CINE KODAK, an original short screenplay by Stephen M. Hunt. Beta in exterior, Avenue Maurice Chaussee Day, Super, Paris, France, December 1941. The broad, tree-lined avenue is bathed in chill December sunlight. Some of the large, uniformed terraced houses have a blood-stained body carefully arrayed on the flight of steps to the front door. Almost each body is a young child. A small florist van passes by. Interior, florist van, moving, day. The driver takes in the grisly scene with clenched teeth and a white-knuckle grip on the steering wheel. He swallows hard, knowing he has a job to do. This is Adam Dubin, 39, an American. His passenger trembles fearfully. He repeatedly glimpses the road ahead, then the view behind in the outside mirror to his right. This is Hugo Tessier, 20, an American. Deeply disturbed, Dubin sighs. Tessier looks at Dubin.
What now?
What now? Don't you flake out on me, Hugo. For Christ's sakes, not now.
I'm fine. Really.
So keep looking. Forward, then behind. Forward, then behind.
Dubin approaches a T-junction and turns right. Exterior, other streets, day. The van mingles with light traffic, taking rights, then lefts, then doubles back to re-enter Avenue Maurice Chaussee. All the while, Tessier is glancing forward and behind, forward and behind. Exterior, Avenue Maurice Chaussee, day. The florist van cruises down the long avenue that parks in the lower end. Interior, florist van, day. To Tessier's right are bodies on steps. He doesn't want to look, but can't help himself. His eyes fall upon a 3-year-old girl with her throat cut. Tessier gags, heaves, slaps both hands to his mouth, and throws up violently between his fingers.
Oh, shit.
Dubin fires up, crunches the gears, and pulls out in front of the passing car. A blaring horn, screeching tires, and someone shouting. Dubin stamps the brakes, the car swerves clear and speeds away. Tessier wails from the depths of his soul. Exterior, Place Voltaire, day. The florist van is parked by the square's gurgling fountain. Dubin leans in at the passenger's side to clean up with the fountain water and a rag. He steps back to swing the passenger door closed, but thinks better of it. He walks over to Tessier, sitting on a bench with his head in his hands.
We gotta get back before they do.
Tessier nods without looking up.
Stay focused. If we're noticed, we're dead.
Dubin returns to the van. At the fountain, Tessier immerses his head. He then looks over to Dubin, who's sitting impatiently behind the wheel with both doors open. Exterior, Avenue Maurice Chaussee, day. They park at about the same spot. Interior, florist van, day. Dubin stares at the furthest group of bodies with his heart racing and his pulse thumping in his temple. He gets out. Exterior, Avenue Maurice Chaussee, day. Dubin goes to the back of the van. He looks furtively around, then opens the rear doors onto potted flowers crammed in over every inch of floor. He shifts a row of tall pots of flowers to reveal that behind them are short pots of flowers standing on a higher level. The van has a false floor. He slides back a panel between the two levels. He takes out a trench coat that's too big for him and slips into it. He then takes out a U.S. Navy CINE KODAK camera. It's heavy, and he conceals it under the loose coat. He goes to the van's open passenger window.
Warm up the midget.
Interior, florist van, day. As Dubin walks away, Tessier reaches behind his seat. He slides a panel back, gropes under the false floor, then pulls into view what looks like a gramophone. But it isn't. Exterior, Avenue Maurice Chaussee, day. Struggling with a heavy Kodak, Dubin passes the first of the bodies, then stops outside house number 3. He checks all around, sees no one, and gets the Kodak rolling. He films a blood-caked family, both parents and 3 children. He strides on toward the steps of number 11, where there's another slaughtered family. He films. Hereafter, wherever there's a body on the steps, it's just a single butchered child. Dubin resumes filming. The Kodak is whirring away when Dubin's startled by a voice from behind.
You're American.
His heart in his mouth, Dubin spins around, almost dropping the cumbersome Kodak. Before him is a 26-year-old woman dressed head to toe in black. She nods to the camera's logo.
Kodak is American, so I assume...
Anxious, Dubin glances up and down the avenue, then back to the woman.
They'll be back soon. My family is next.
Dubin is horrified.
When they're gone, bring your Kodak to number 87.
Dubin can only manage a stutter.
After filming, cross over to number 88. There's an old woman on the 2nd floor. You must talk to her.
Dubin's head is in a spin. He can't take it all in.
Promise me you will.
He unwittingly dithers, then nods. The woman is thrown and at a loss. Her pained eyes spill tears.
I promise.
The woman nods, turns, and hurries away. Interior florist van, day. What looked like a gramophone is in fact a BBC Mighty Midget disc recorder. Pensive, Dubin taps its microphone on his lips. Tessier repeatedly looks forward and behind. Dubin hits the midget's record button.
The assassination of Nazi officers guarantees reprisals. Innocent Jewish families are dragged to the Drancy detention camp, 3 miles away. They'll be in Auschwitz a week later. But that's not all. The mother of each family must...
Adam?
Almost frozen with fear, they watch a Nazi truck swing onto the avenue at the T-junction, then head toward them. Tessier bestows the midget as Dubin starts the engine. Exterior, Avenue Maurice Chaussee, day. The truck slows well short of the florist van and parks outside number 87. Dubin and Tessier drive by, ignoring the truck, and the 6 armed soldiers leaping from under its canvas-covered rear. Lieutenant Otto Breugel, 24, jumps down from the cab's passenger seat. As his men charge into the building, he lights a cigarette, then casually follows them in. Interior, 87 Avenue Maurice Chaussee, upper hallway, day. The door to the 3rd floor apartment is open and guarded by 2 of the soldiers. Breugel enters, then passes into the lounge. Breugel's other soldiers guard the woman in black. She has her son and daughter snuggled up tight against her.
Cooperate fully, or you all die.
The soldiers cock their guns. The petrified woman gasps, quietly streaming tears.
You understand?
She nods.
Which child have you chosen?
She nods to the girl and releases her. Sobbing, she clutches her son with both arms, then turns herself and the boy away. Breugel nods to a soldier. The soldier sets down his gun, pulls a knife, and slits the girl's throat. The woman screeches in agony. She faints, swamping her son. Exterior, 87 Avenue Maurice Chaussee, day. 2 soldiers lead the hysterical woman and her confused and upset son to the back of the truck and bundle them in. 3 other soldiers stride from the steps, turn left, and head off for number 93. The 6th soldier emerges with the dead girl and lays her on the steps under Breugel's watchful eye.
Not like that. Stretch out their arms.
The soldier complies. Breugel flicks his cigarette away and follows his men into number 93. Exterior, Avenue Maurice Chaussee, day. The florist's van re-enters the avenue. The Nazi truck has gone. Dubin and Tessier see that more houses have a dead child on their front steps. The florist's van parks outside number 88. Interior, 88 Avenue Maurice Chaussee, day. Dubin and Tessier have the Kodak and midget set up in the lounge of the 2nd floor apartment. An old woman, also dressed head to toe in black, sits directly in front of a window, flooding the room with bright sunlight.
Be assured, the camera will detect just a featureless silhouette.
She nods.
May we begin?
She nods again. Tessier holds the microphone a little closer to her, and the Kodak starts whirring.
How could they ask a mother to choose which of her children she preferred them to murder?
Thank God we found a way to cheat the Nazis of that.
Excuse me?
That child would die, no question. But the mother can be spared the torture of choosing which one.
But if the Nazis insist, then surely...
There was someone. It doesn't matter who. She visited every family, always blindfolded. She'd be led into a room. She'd point either left or right to where a child stood. She'd then be led away.
Why would she take such guilt upon herself?
The first 2 families in this avenue wouldn't choose. And
Yes, I know. I filmed them. Even so, why would this woman shoulder the responsibility for...
it saves lives.
She sees that both men are still bemused.
For a barren woman who's never made life, nothing's sweeter than saving it.
Stunned, Dubin and Tessier look at each other.
And what better way to save life than frustrating satanic pleasure?
Huh. To think that the vermin will never know how the woman thwarted their evil.
Who knows?
She turns from Dubin to stare directly into the Kodak.
Maybe one day they'll be faced with the indisputable evidence of their atrocities.
Exterior, 146 Avenue Maurice Chaussee, day. A soldier arrays another dead child as Breugel skips down the steps. He flicks away a cigarette, then strolls to another house his men are entering. He's unaware of the florist van parked opposite, and that inside, a US Navy CINE Kodak is filming him. Fade out.